Hey guys, it's Heather from HMP Artistry here, and I am making black raspberry vanilla soap today. The fragrance oil I'm using is from Lone Star. I love this fragrance oil. I've also made bath bombs in it, and I'm deciding if I want to make bubble bars in it. We'll see. But it is delicious. I'm definitely going to see about making some black raspberry vanilla lotions as well. I'm using my regular soap recipe: olive oil, coconut oil, lard, castor oil, sunflower oil, sweet almond oil, and avocado oil. Again, kale and clay in the oils right now. In my lye water, I have sodium lactate and salt. I'm going to add goat's milk to this recipe. And I am using Hollywood Purple Mica from Nurture Soaps. And I am using Neon Purple Pigment from Nurture Soap as well. And I have a new mixer that I am testing out today, because if you've watched my other videos, you know I was a little worried. It looked like I was running out of motor power on my other mixer, on my emulsion blender. Emulsion. But I haven't tried it yet, so let's try it for blending this in real quick. That boy's got some power, so I'm gonna have to be careful with this one. My other one had multiple speed levels. It had a low and a high, but then it had levels within low and high, and I always kept it on the lowest of low. So this is gonna be interesting. We'll see how this one works out. Making sure I have everything I need right here. Have my goggles, my gloves, my mask. I'm good to go. I am not wearing my apron. I should probably go put that on, but I'll do that once I get this in. I knew there was something I was forgetting, and it was my apron. I was reading an article the other day about putting salts in your soaps, because, you know, that's what I do. I add salt, sodium lactate and iodized salt to harden my bars. And in the article, they're talking about the fact that you should dissolve your salts in hot water before you add it to your lye water. I've never actually done that, so that may be something I'm going to try next. Grabbing an apron. For those of you that don't know, I also sew, and I love it when I make a new apron that I can wear. This one's fun. It's got gold lame in it. Okay. Now let me mix this up a little before I add in my milk. And I'm going to pour in my milk. It is goat's milk. I do not like, I think I've said it in videos before, but I know a lot of people will make full goat's milk and dissolve, like they'll freeze their goat's milk overnight, and then they'll use the frozen goat's milk with their lye. But I personally have not had good luck with the coloring that I want by doing that. They inevitably turn a little darker brown. It's not really anything bad. It's just not what I want my soaps to look like, so I do it this way instead. This is a much quieter motor too, you guys. I am highly impressed. This is a Hamilton Beach. I was going to get a KitchenAid, but they didn't have any KitchenAids when I went. And so I just grabbed this one because it was necessary to accomplish my task that I had to accomplish. And I'm good and emulsified, but it's pretty loosened up. So I want to blend it a little bit more. I'm going to go ahead and add my fragrance oil and see what happens. This usually doesn't thicken up my soaps, but like I've said, I'm in the new studio and soaps have been behaving differently because the temperature and moisture content in the air has been a little bit different in this room as opposed to the old studio. Okay, this is not wanting to reach trace, so I'm going to keep blending. This particular immersion blender, I can already see it's pulling a lot more air into my soap. Even though I'm burping it pretty continuously, it's getting super hot, even on the lowest setting. I do like the fact that it has a longer shaft. That way I can actually mix soap that is higher up in the bowl. But this heating up part of it is pretty rough. And if you see, it wants to come, like it screws on, but then as you're using it, it sort of unscrews itself. So we'll see. I've got a super light trace, and I'm going to pour it off into its individual bowls, and hopefully that will cool off because it really is super, super, super hot. I'm going to pour off some pinky purple. A little bit more purple, because I do want to use the purples to pipe. If it will ever get thick enough to pipe. It may not ever get thick enough to pipe. We'll see. This definitely introduces a lot more air into the soap than I would like. I am not... Come on, Hamilton Beach, you're making me sad. You definitely could have beat out KitchenAid, but you're stressing me out. I actually would have bought another Oster, if I'm being totally honest, if they had had that at my Walmart as well, because I happen to really love that. I've loved this immersion blender that I've had for so long. It has really not let me down. I've just used it so much that it's tired. I'm hand mixing this in because I don't want to add any more air to my soap. It's stressing me out. Okay, I'm using my two small molds. This has gotten really thick. As soon as that titanium dioxide hit it, it got thick. Okay, I'm going to use what's left for the top. And let me pour this in pretty high. Okay. Okay, I'll use what's left for my piping. Although it does look like it's going to be enough and it's going to be thick enough for me to pipe. I'm super excited about that. I was worried that it wouldn't thicken up at all and I wouldn't be able to pipe it. But it looks like I'm going to be able to. Okay, and now for my bright purple. I'm going to pour it from up high as well. straight down the middle. Okay. And like I said, I'm keeping the rest for the piping. And next is to do my hanger swirl. I'm doing figure eights all the way through and then slashing across. I'm going to do the same thing here. Yeah, I can never stop swirling, you guys. That's the thing about my hanger swirls. I never know when to end the hanger swirl. I always think, let's just do one more, just in case. And inevitably, it's super swirled. Okay, I'm going to beat it down because it looks like I brought up a couple of bubbles. Air pockets. Oh, man. Never had so much air in my soaps. Wow. Okay, I'm going to scrapey my bowls and put white on top. Of one, because I want them to be level. And I have a little more soap in one than the other, so I'm gonna sprinkle a little white on that one. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but I have a family of birds right outside my window. I mean, quite literally, their nest is right outside the studio window. And when I'm working, all I hear is just tweet, 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 tweet. Okay, perfect. There are still air bubbles coming up to the top, so I'm going to let this sit up a little bit. I'm going to let my purples get a little bit thicker so that they'll be pipeable. And then I will be back to show you guys how I pipe them. See you in a bit. Okay guys, I have already started. I also have some little leaf embeds that I'm adding in, and I did a little bit of a green mica line or mica drizzle because I wanted it to have leaves. And I'm just piping little dots to look like raspberries. And I'm kind of piling them on top of each other to give them that kind of roundedness that raspberries have. guys. I actually think that looks really, really good. And I'm going to go ahead and pipe out some cute little sample soaps. Hey guys, it's Heather and I am here cutting my Black Raspberry Vanilla soap. I have one soap loaf that is not ready yet, so I am going to go ahead and cut the first one. Today is one of those days where I have a ton of things going on and I'm just not, just don't have enough time to get all of those things done. I really need a new cutter. Ooh, pretty. That's loose. I definitely need a new soap cutter in a big way, because this does not want to tighten anymore and it is fully loosening on me. Ooh, pretty. I think as they sit, the colors will separate out a bit more and you'll be able to see the difference in the purples. That's really pretty. I'm happy. It looks a bit like a big raspberry in the center. Ooh. That side, that side. And usually I can choose the side that I like right out the gate. But as of right now, that's not the case. A little bit off with that one. So pretty. I'm going to trim this just a little bit because it's just a little too long or a little too thick. And that will be my sample soap. Smoothing out that other side. And put that over there and try to cut it, because it feels solid, but it also feels like maybe the fragrance oil did a little bit of sweating. Which is always frustrating. and you can't smell the fragrance oil very strongly right now, so it also is probably one of those fragrance oils that takes a couple of days to come back, because their vanilla fragrance oil does that. It sweats a little bit, and it takes a little bit of time to for the vanilla fragrance to strengthen up again. Oh no, glad I didn't start cutting that before it moved. That would have been bad. Ooh, super pretty. This is just not my morning, you guys. I cannot get this to tighten for me, and my soap is slick. See? Oh, goodness. And I didn't line my soap up as well as I thought I had. And that's super crummy. Ooh, pretty. There's my sample from that bar. Now we'll level it back out for me. Now yesterday I used a new bubble bar recipe to make black raspberry vanilla bubble bars as well. They seem to be a little bit softer than anticipated, but that I know is because of this weather that we've had recently. And there's, of course, the tops. I wish I would have made my colorant a little darker. I thought it was dark enough. It looks a little more like grapes than raspberries. It's still gorgeous though, so I'm not disappointed in the soap itself because it's still beautiful. I just, next time will use a darker purple instead of the neon purple. I'll use like an heirloom purple. Okay guys, well here you have it. This is H&P Artistry with the Black Raspberry Vanilla Soaps. Wishing you luck, love, and a really great day. Bye guys.